What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Christian, but you already knew that. We're back at it again with another video with the Women's World Cup about to begin. I thought to myself, what better than to go ahead and rank the jerseys that the women are going to be wearing for these games. So now, the way this is going to work is I've compiled all of the home jerseys. I'm going to do the away ones in a separate video, which I will probably be uploading shortly after this one. But I've gone ahead and compiled all of the home kits that the women are going to be wearing, and I'm going to put them into these categories, S being the highest and F being the lowest, which means I absolutely hate it. Never want to see it. Might as well just burn it, wear a simple white t-shirt or something to the game. I don't know. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start off strong with Argentina. So for most of the Adidas, the women are going to be wearing the same home kit that the men have worn. And this Argentina kit, if you know, already has cemented itself as one of the best jerseys of all time. So for me, I absolutely love this jersey. So it's going straight into the S tier. So we're starting off strong. Next, you have home team, home soil, Australia. Well, they're going to be wearing this almost orangey kit, almost yellow. It's kind of like in between. I don't really know how I feel about it. I've seen multiple pictures of it. It looks nice in some of them, and then in some of them it looks a little too orange, almost like a Netherlands kit. But the way I see it right now, it looks a little too much like the men's Netherlands kit that was worn. But it's not a bad jersey. Overall, it's simple. I'm going to go ahead and put it into B. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just kind of there. But moving on from Australia, we're going to have Brazil. And this Brazil kit, I've had my issues with it. I mean, it's the same one that the men have worn. I feel like it's a little too pale for my liking. But yeah, it's just a tad bit too pale. If it was maybe like a shade darker, it would be a lot nicer. But normally Brazil kits, they haven't really gone far from what they normally are, just a yellow kit. So they're also going to go ahead and go into the B tier. Now, we're going to go on with Canada. Canada have chosen a little bit of a different design here. Their kit is actually going to have almost a maple leaf pattern all around it, which is absolutely amazing because it's about time Nike looked at Canada and did something with their jerseys. If you look at their home for the men and all of that, it's just simple red, simple black, simple white. I mean, there's not much to it, but they've gone ahead and done a pattern here for Canada, which makes it stand out. And if you look at it, there's a kind of like the darker maple leaf right there, which makes it stand out and makes you think, hey, this is a Canada kit. It's nice, it's different, and I like it. So I'm gonna put this one in A. And then moving on from there, we have, who is that? Oh, I think that's China's kit, if I'm not wrong. I can't really see it. Is it China's? Yeah, we have China's kit. There's gonna be a lot of red here. A lot of these countries use red as their main color, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I do not like this kit at all. I do not like this at all. The red is fine, but it's just the yellow accents that are going on the sleeves that just don't match up. It makes it look like a McDonald's kit for me. It just doesn't do anything. It just literally reminds me of mustard and ketchup. I can't. I literally can't. I don't like it. I don't like it. So that one's gonna be the first one that's going into F, and it's gonna stay there because that's not a nice kit. Nike needs to step it up a bit with China. That's a bad design. But leaving China behind, we're going to Colombia, and Colombia has the same kind of issue with Brazil, where this year was a little bit too pale, but it's not a bad kit overall. It's kind of simple in my opinion. It kind of reminds me of the 2014 one, but I'm not really a big fan of it, so moving it into C. Yeah, just there's not much to it. Costa Rica, we have another red kit coming in, and again, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. It's kind of just meh. It's kind of just there. It's just another red kit, so there's not much to it. It has blue accents around, which makes it better in my opinion than this McDonald's kit that China had. But that one's also gonna go into the C tier. Leaving Costa Rica behind, we have got ourselves Denmark, and Denmark, it's a bit out there. We have another red kit. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of red kits, especially if you look down here. There's a ton of them. But Denmark's kit looks a bit different, and I like it. I can't lie to you. I like it. It's an interesting one. So it's definitely better than China's, and it's definitely better than Costa Rica. I'll say it's better than Colombia, so I'm going to go ahead and put it right behind Brazil. But it might be going down depending on how the rest of these play out. Now, England have themselves a nice kit. It's different than the one that the men wore for sure. And I'm not a big fan of this Nike template. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's not the best template. There's something about the collar that annoys me and I can't get my head over it. But this one works really nice. It's simple, yes, but it's not just a simple white kit that England normally wear. Has accents of blue here, and I really like it. So it's gonna go up with Canada in the A tier. Now France. See, whenever I think of France, I think of the navy blue one that they wore, that the men wore in the World Cup. But I really like this shade of blue. It reminds me of something. I've been trying to wrap my head around it, but I can't remember exactly what this reminds me of. But I really like the shade of blue, and it definitely screams France, but it doesn't scream traditional France. It's kind of different. So maybe that's what France was going for, because they're going to be different in this tournament. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a nice kit. I'm gonna put it at the top of B. If I can move it, there we go. I'm gonna put it at the top of B. It might be moving up later on, but it's a really good kit in my opinion. It's a really nice kit. Now we're going on to Germany, and Germany's gonna wear the same kit that the men wore. Not much to it. It's a nice kit. I've said it. I really like the way it looked. They went a little bit different. Had this the red stripe going down, and I like it. Not much to it. Simple white and black. There we go. It's going at the bottom of A. Now Ireland. I'm not a fan of green kits. I think there's too many issues with it. I feel like they just blend in with the grass and the pitch, but I don't know. I don't like this either. I feel like Hastor could have done a bit better with it, but Ireland's gonna go into the F for me. Now Italy, same thing. They're gonna be wearing the men's kit that was released earlier. I was gonna say the World Cup kit, but Italy didn't make it into the World Cup for the men. That's funny. But they're gonna be wearing this blue kit that's been released, and it's a nice kit. They've switched sponsors. It's no longer Puma. It's gonna be Adidas, but it's nice. It's nothing spectacular. It's just blue like a normal Italian kit. So it's gonna go into. It's gonna go. Top of Brazil, actually. I like it more than the Brazil one here in B. Now, Jamaica's also is another one who has switched sponsors, moving on from, I think it was Umbro to Adidas. I like it. It's a gold kit. I'm a fan of these. It's a gold one, but it's nothing spectacular. It doesn't really scream anything extravagant, but you can tell it's a Jamaica kit, which is good. So it's going to go into the top of C for me. Now, this Japanese kit, moving on to Japan, right, in case you didn't know. This Japan kit, I have been trying to get this kit for a while now, and I haven't been able to get it, but I absolutely love this one. They debuted into the World Cup. It's beautiful the way that there's like kind of like the triangular pattern going on, and it's so good. I absolutely love this one. So S for me. We have South Korea coming up next, and it's another red kit. I feel like Nike kind of messed this up because they were trying to make it a bit more feminine, I guess, or suited towards the to the women's team. If you look at the men's team, it's all red with like black accents on like the sleeves and the neck collar. But this random patch of pink that they've added onto the side, I'm not a fan of. I feel like the shades are too similar to where you kind of won't notice it unless you're really looking for it. But I mean, yeah, I've been looking at this kit a couple times and I just can't wrap my head around it. It's going into the F tier, but not that. Let me raise it real quick. So F tier is going to be Korea, Ireland, and then China. China's at the bottom for me. I can't get over the McDonald's looking kit. But moving on then. So we have the Netherlands. Netherlands, traditional orange. Nothing new about it. Nothing that's really changed. It's just a lighter shade. But I like this one a lot more than the one that the men wore. I know that I'm kind of comparing a lot of these kits to the men, and I probably shouldn't. But it's just the standard of the ones that I normally see. I like this kit a lot though. Nice shade of orange. Definitely going into B, at the top of B. And yeah, now New Zealand. I'm a sucker for a black kit, as you can tell. I'm a sucker for a black kit. And if you kind of look at New Zealand's kit, it has like a feather design all around it. I'm not entirely sure what that's about, but it's the same as the crest for New Zealand, and I absolutely love that. Kind of like the same thing that was done with Canada, and it's going at the top of A for me. It's better than the Canada because I like the color black a lot more than I do any other color. So that's gonna go with that. And then whose kit is this? Is that Norway? Yeah. So Norway's kit is just red. It's red and simple. Into C. Sorry. It's just there. There's way too many red kits that I'm kind of overstimulated where all of these kind of just look the same. But yeah. Then from there we are gonna have, who's that? Who is that? Is that Panama? Yeah. So Panama's kits. Reebok fumbled the bag here. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like how these look. The red is fine, but the way they try to have the blue accents in there kind of reminds me of an. I don't know what it reminds me of, but I don't like this one. Yeah, this one's gonna go bottom of C for sure. This is another red kit. I mean, I think I had too many of these in a row, but yeah. So that's Panama, and then and who's this? Is that the Philippines? No. Yeah, it's the Philippines. So I'm sorry, I memorized these, but they look a bit different down here. So Philippines up next. It's just a red kit again. I mean, there's only so much you can do with the red kit. But actually, this one has a bit of a design on here, so this one's actually gonna go higher up. It's still gonna be in C. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's just a red kit though. There's not much you can do with it. But Portugal have come out and they're going completely different than what the men had, with kind of like that like half diagonal slash. And it's red and it has green accents on the side, kind of like what Korea was doing with theirs. But I think the red and the green work a lot better than the red and the pink do. So this one for me is going into B. At the bottom of B though, I mean, it's still a red kit at the end of the day. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but it looks a lot better than other jerseys that are on here. Then yeah, so moving on to Spain. Spain has the same kit as the men wore. I wasn't a big fan of this kit. I feel like it's a bit too simple. I feel like there's something more they could have done with it. I just can never place my finger on it, but it's for sure one of the better jerseys. Adidas is always keen to making some good jerseys, so I'm gonna put it at the top of C. Sweden, again, the color yellow is kind of simple. You have the badge in the middle, but I'm not a big fan of it, so I'm putting that one into F. I've made up my mind with that one a long time ago. Now the US has gone completely different, and they have like the defending champs have gone with like I want to say like a paint splatter, kind of like a paint splatter effect on their jerseys. It's a white kit overall. It looks a lot better than the men one for sure. I don't know what the men were doing with theirs, but it's not my favorite women's kit that I've seen for the US, but it's also not entirely bad. So it would go at it's in B for sure, and it's one of the higher ones. I would put this one and then swap around Italy. Yeah. Yeah, matter of fact, France can go up here actually. France would be up here, and then US would be top of this. And there we go. Okay, so that's that. And then that's left. That leaves us with, if I'm not wrong, that's Vietnam. So Vietnam, just a white kit. I think they have a collar on theirs actually. Yeah, they do. So they have a collar on theirs, which is a lot. I mean, some collar jerseys look really good. This one, not my favorite, but it's different. But it's not spectacular. It's pretty simple. I was expecting a bit more, maybe, you know, a little design on the sleeves or something. Not on the sleeves, sorry, like some pinstripes, something. But you know, say simple, which isn't bad, but overall, it's just gonna go into the bottom of C. So now let me work these out a little bit. I feel like I'm gonna reorganize some of these. Right, so this is how I have finished. I reworked it a little bit here and there. I moved a couple around, but I like how this looks. So this is my official ranking of the home Women's World Cup jerseys. But let me know in the comments below which jerseys you guys liked, and if there's anything you would change in my rankings, and which one you guys think is the best jersey out of this overall. And as always, if you guys want to see more of this type of content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, click a like on this video, just, you know, comment something down as well. And as always, take care guys, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.